So week one with Shadow went really well. This is him just waiting for his water. I included this because it shows kind of his pushiness that he's kind of got going on to just make sure to not give in to that. So we're playing the attention game. The rules of the game, you can't call your dog's name, you can't pull him towards you with the leash, and you can't give him any commands. For example, I can't go, Shadow, come. So what I'm doing to get his attention is I'm just making some really embarrassing little sounds. Pucka, 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 puppy, 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 whatever I gotta do to get him to come towards me. And when he gives me a little bit of engagement, I'm gonna say good and give him a reward. It's a pretty easy little game. We just wait for him to get distracted and do whatever. But then we're gonna turn it into healing. So with the heal, we're just going to do the attention game and then turn so that he's kind of stuck on our left side. And when he hits the heel position, which is right at my left foot, that's when I say good and reward him. And we use the term good as a marker. So, for example, when you take a picture and it comes out with someone blinking, think of that kind of as your dog's mind, which I know sounds confusing, but we can't feed as fast as the dog thinks. So by conditioning a marker term, when he hears the word good, his brain takes that snapshot like a picture and goes, oh, this behavior being on your left side or doing whatever, that's what got me the treat. And then he's going to anticipate the treat. So, just kind of be really as precise as you can with that. It's a little bit of a learning curve. But I'm just, every time he's there, I'm going, good, waiting a second, and dropping my hand down to feed him. I like to give everything its own moment. I don't want to feed him while I say good. I just like the clarity of that moment. Now, healing is one of the most difficult tasks we teach your dog, which is why we start out with it first. So don't be expecting to take him home this weekend and go for like a 5-mile walk. He's not going to do very well. So just kind of focus on working in your driveway or your living room, whatever little bit of training space you have. The backyard's fine. I'm not going anywhere. I'm just kind of walking back and forth, moving around in circles. We're just teaching the behavior right now. The upcoming weeks, those are going to proof it a little bit more, take him more places, give him more experience, walk him up and down the street. And that's going to give us a little bit more freedom. And if you see when he gets in front of me, like there, I back up and then do the attention game to get him back on my left side. And I am feeding him in motion because when I stop in a heel, I expect the sit. So for the sit, I lure the dog to be on my left side again. And what I do is I pull up with the leash while luring him with the food in my hand. Luring just means he's following that food. And I keep that leash pressure up until his butt hits the floor. And with Shadow, he can be a little bit stubborn. So, don't be afraid to apply leash pressure. Just keep it constant. You'll see as he won't sit down until the leash pressure turns on. The second he sits down, I turn the leash pressure off and he gets his treat. You'll also see me kind of taking my arm up after he sits. I take it up in kind of like a little T-Rex position. That's because I don't want his picture of sit in his mind to include my hand in his face. So I'm pulling my hand up, then I'm saying good, hand comes back down and he gets food. And I think this is where I got slobbery dog kibble stuck to my shirt. It was very gross. I'm also not trying to go super far in between my sits. In this video, I'm kind of having to go back up and reset so that I'm in front of my camera. But he's sitting, I say free, I step off with my left foot, one step, and then I put him back in that sit. Right there I think he had sat in front of me, so I just kind of reset him into the sit. We want him to sit nice next to us. When he pops up in front of us like that, that's a little bit rude. So I just kind of back up again like we did in the heel, get him back on the left side and try again. And it's stepping off with that left foot. We go free, left foot steps off, ask him to sit again, and repeat over and over. And if all of this like random terms and like, I'm saying free and markers and all that stuff, if that's getting a little bit confusing because it is a whole lot of stuff, on the Airborne Canine website, we have a whole dog training vocabulary sheet, and that can really clarify some things as well because it's a ton of stuff coming at you at once and you're worried about the dog. So I highly recommend checking that out as well. And I also want to add my sessions are never as long as the sessions in my videos. When I'm training a dog, I keep it like 5 minutes tops. So if you could do like 3 5-minute sessions a day, that's awesome. If you can do more than that, even better. But keep it pretty short. I set a timer on my watch. I think that's really useful. Just don't be trying to do a whole crazy long 20-minute session. So place is probably the easiest thing we learned this week. What I do is I lure him up onto the place bed, again following that food in my hand. Then I'm going to move into the heel position, and when I'm ready for him to hop off, I'm going to step forward with that left foot and say free. When he gets all 4 feet on the bed, that's when I'm going to drop a piece of kibble right at the front. And when I say free, if he doesn't come off right away, I'm not going to pull him. Before, when you saw me pull him, that's because he was trying to eat off the floor, and we do not want that. But just go back to the attention game, puppy, 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 whatever, to get him off the bed. And if he likes being up there, I'm happy that he's up there, and I just call him back off. Again, that left foot's going to always mean come with me for free. So I'm saying free and stepping off of my left foot. And I want you to think about your place bed as a little kennel. The kennel has the walls and the roof and all that jazz. So I'm bringing him on and off through the door. I never want to bring him on and off through the sides or the back because I don't want him to get in the habit of winging off the bed in all directions. Always on and off in the front. But I just say, good. One kibble at the front. I'm going to wait a second. I might add another one. This is called adding duration. So if I just sit here and I say place, and I put a kibble down, and I go place, and put another one, just keep doing that, and then adding in that free, that makes him want to stay up there even longer because he knows the more he stays up there, the more he gets paid, and that's going to encourage it. So here I'm starting to add a little bit of distance in. If he was to keep getting off and things like that during this, I would go back to just adding some duration. It's all about building up slowly, but that right foot going forward means stay there. So I bring my right foot forward, I step straight in front of the bed, right back to the heel position, and good. We always want to reward and release in the heel position. We don't want him thinking that we can be across the room and he can hop off the bed. Just wait in a second, and I'm gonna go good. Wait a second, place, step, good. And it might be a little confusing and awkward now while you do it, but believe me, the more and more you do it, the faster you'll get at it, and you're not even going to be thinking about it, you'll just be doing it. Another thing we can use our place cue to teach is kennel manners. So I don't really want my dog to be rushing out of the door of my kennel just because it's open. That can be really unsafe. So I'm doing the same thing I did with the place bed, just a little more awkwardly, but in the kennel with the dog. And then I put him up typically at the end of that session, but I just go in and out a bunch of times, and then maybe the last time he gets stuck in there. He can get a little bit bratty about going in the kennel, but I just kind of lure him in with the food, and I just kind of keep asking until he goes in. So just patience is really key when it comes to Shadow.